You got to watch this.
For the last 7 years, Jonathan Bédard, Eric Leblanc, and Justin Maheu have been waiting to become parents together, something that officially happened yesterday.
She's perfect, of course. She's curious, she's energetic, she loves to play, she loves to jump, she loves to dance.
They adopted their 3-year-old through Quebec's Youth Protection Services, but first had to be approved as foster parents, something that required a lot of work and openness, they say, to their relationship.
We had a lot of things to go through in order to be able to have that accreditation, and it's through that process that they learned that we are a little different because we're 3, but we're not different from any other family.
Yeah. No, stop right there. No, you are different. You are different from every family. God did not design the nuclear family to be 3 men raising children. God created the institution of marriage as 1 man, it's 1 woman. That's Genesis 2:24. Therefore, a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and they shall become 1 flesh. It's not 2 men. It's definitely not 3 men. It's 1 man and 1 woman. And when you redefine marriage, you don't just change the definition. What you actually do is destroy the definition itself. Look, if marriage can mean anything, then marriage means nothing. And when marriage means nothing, then love loses all meaning. You know, the left has been telling us for decades, they've been saying love is love. Well, this is where love is love. The slippery slope leads. 3 men raising a 3-year-old girl. I have a question. Where is this child's mother? A mother's role is irreplaceable. God designed women to be mothers. Not just biologically, it's a divine order. A child needs a mother's nurture, a mother's protection. It benefits every child from a mother's unique love that no man, no matter how well-intentioned, can provide. And where are the women's rights activists? I mean, think about it. For years, they've been fighting for women to break every glass ceiling that they could. Where are you when a little girl is denied the fundamental right to a mother's touch, to experience a bond that only a mother and a daughter can share? They're silent. And they've remained silent while enemies of God's intelligent design have been pushing an agenda, and that agenda says biology doesn't matter. God's intelligent design doesn't matter. The radical left doesn't care what children need. In Canada, some provinces, by the way, we should tell you in this story, they already legally recognize more than 2 parents. But Quebec, where these men live, Quebec doesn't. I want you to listen to this. Listen to what one of these men said about their legal plans.
Either way, it might go all the way to the Supreme Court. Yeah. But we're saddened from the fact that we're not backed by our own government, which is supposed to be an open government that wants to help every single family.
So the Justice Ministry in Canada, they're not commenting. This is an active case. But to these 3 men, let me tell you, you are not the victims here. You're not victims at all. The child is the victim. This child that's being used as a pawn to advance a radical agenda. Other countries like the United States, you better believe, may follow. They're watching. They're definitely watching. This poor little girl, she didn't ask for her childhood to be the centerpiece of some social experiment. And here's the saddest part, the tragedy of this entire situation. The number 1 role of a father is to protect his family, to protect his children from situations like this. A real father shields his daughter from being used. A real father puts his child's needs above his own. Wait, though, there's more.
While the law doesn't recognize all 3 as parents, they say they're sharing the responsibilities equally and doing whatever they can to create a stable home and secure future for their daughter.
We talk about what come up if we split up or if someone dies and stuff like that. We do anticipate those things because we have to, because we're not protected if it doesn't.
So they're preparing for a breakup scenario. Do you catch that? So here's my question. What if they want to bring more men into the relationship? Will this little girl be raised by 4 men? How about 5? How about 6? How about 10? Why stop at 3? You can see, can't you see now how this works? Once we abandon God's design, God's standard, there is no standard. Everything is arbitrary. Everything is based on feelings, and children become the victims of adult selfishness that's masquerading as compassion. You know, in the past, if we would have heard of 3 men taking a little girl, you would have called authorities. And the police would have come and they would have taken that child. Now, authorities are legally placing children in these situations. The Canadian government is facilitating this. What was once called kidnapping, Canada now calls parenting. Share this video.